All right, and so next one is similar. This is when you're investigating a bot, and the bot infection will phone home. It will send out network traffic, and so we'll catch the network traffic remotely. So once again, we download this thing. It's called security.zip, and right-click, extract all, extract. And again, the password is malware.
What's the new section again?
This is 373.
373. Oh, yeah, next
Yeah,
one. Duh. You're producer. Yeah.
yeah.
I was
So,
testing you out. Good. Okay, go.
all right. And so after you download it, you're here, you have this folder called security. And in there, just click BG Info, which is a legitimate sysinternals tool, but I've hijacked it with this version. It's another project for a different class where you've made a fake library, which tricks it into installing malware. So I run as administrator and approve all the warnings, agree to the terms. Okay. I'm going to cancel it. I don't really need to let it finish. Once it starts, you can cancel it. All right. Um, and that's it. So now my machine should be infected and phoning home. And let me just check to make sure that's right. I should have Wireshark on here. Let me see. I do. So if I run Wireshark and sniff the Ethernet and look for HTTP, which almost nobody uses anymore, I should see some network traffic coming from that bot within a minute or so. Yep, there it is, sending network traffic off. Right, so the machine is now sending a signal back to its command and control center, and we're going to investigate it remotely with Velociraptor, of course. So let's get back to the Linux machine here, and then a browser here. All right, so here, got Velociraptor.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah,
Bye.
SwiftUI. Clean this stuff off. All right, let me go to show all and the Windows client and collected. All right. So 373, the first thing we're going to want to do is to collect the network traffic, I think. Yep, Windows Network Packet Capture. And this one is a little annoying. Search for packet. How to spell it better. All right. Windows Network Packet Capture. If you read this, you have to run it twice. The first time it will start sniffing, and the next time it will stop sniffing. The problem is it doesn't use Wireshark. It uses a built-in Windows sniffing utility that doesn't really work very well. So anyway, the first parameter is going to start it. So the start trace flag should be true, and it is. So I will launch it. And there it goes. And I can see the time here is 19:06:31. And then I'm going to have to run it again to stop it, but I have to wait a minute to make sure the traffic appears. So run it. Then run the same collector again after a minute. So it was, this one ran at 19:06:31, and it's 19:06:59, so it's been about half a minute. I'll wait another half a minute, so I have a whole minute to make sure I get some traffic. And I guess this time is in Greenwich. That's why the hour is something screwy. All right, I'll wait till I see 30 seconds down here. All right. And so I need to get this path here from the results. So here's the results. Okay, there's the path. I'm going to need the path to this file that it's creating, the nettrace.etl, ETL being Microsoft's packet capturing format. And now I run it again with that path in there. So I go packet capture again. And configure parameters. And I put in the trace file here. There, and I uncheck this, so this will stop the collection. I launch that. There it is, waiting to run, in progress, running. And if I look at the log, you see it running these commands, netsh trace, that's the command line command to get Microsoft to stop sniffing. And still running. All right. Aha, it's done something. Waiting for rows. Okay. Wonder if that image is really missing or if it just didn't load. All right. Have to fix that. Anyway, uploaded files give me a, when it's done, looks like it's done. Okay, it's uploaded files. So if I go to uploaded files, see it's got an ETL file and a PCAP-NG file. So if everything worked correctly, I'd be able to analyze this PCAP file in Wireshark. But usually you can't. So I download this thing. It's temp83. And if I just launch it, that should open it in Wireshark. And there it is. It can't load it. Well, that's another file is not there. That doesn't matter. The capture file appears to be damaged or corrupt. That's the problem. And this is a known problem. It's got to do with a conversion utility to get from Microsoft screwy format to the standard PCAP-NG format. So there are various solutions for that. But what I found was you can just use an online tool to do it. So go here. And you can upload a broken PCAP file here. So I choose File, go to my Downloads folder. The most recent file is that PCAP. There we go. And I can repair it. There it goes, doing some kind of repair. And you get your repaired file here. So that's another PCAP to go in my downloads. And now it'll open okay in Wireshark. So hopefully they'll fix that in some later version of Velociraptor. But anyway, now I have a downloads file and you can find information about the PCAP there. So if you look at the requests to get, you'll see it's going to a server on one of my servers at samsclass.info, and you'll be able to find a flag here in the user agent showing it. It's sending requests to a command and control server. All right, and so the next thing is we want to find the domain name of the command and control server and the DNS cache. And this one, I think, will work. I've had some trouble with this in the past, but it seems to be working better now. The DNS cache is a Windows feature. To avoid doing unnecessary DNS lookups, it caches recent results for about 2 minutes. So anything that is sent frequently will be in the cache, and this thing sends a beacon every 30 seconds or a minute, so it should always be present in the DNS cache. And here it got 22 rows, so it worked. There's the DNS cache, and somewhere in this will be page size. Let's make it 25 so I can see them all. There we are. And I don't see the thing I should see in here, however. Let me check the instructions. I should be able to find securityreport.samsclass.info in here. That's the domain it's going to, but it didn't find it in the DNS cache, which is rude. And I don't think this is Velociraptor. I think this is Windows. However, the flag is just a header of a column, so you'll be able to find the flag here. But I'm just a little disturbed that this didn't work. and I suspect it's Windows. And in past, one thing I found is some Windows machines, the DNS cache always reports as empty. So if you want it to work, one thing that makes it work is to switch the DNS server to a public one. I don't really know why, but it seems like some DNS servers do not properly populate the cache on Windows machines. At least that was Windows 10. So this one, you may not get the expected result, and I haven't completely understood why. But I don't think it's Velociraptor. I think it's Windows doing something screwy about DNS. Anyway, then we'll try Yara. We've done this before. Now that we know the domain name is securityreport.samsclass.info, then we can do the same thing we did before. We can try to see if there are other executable files that are part of the attack on the machine. So we do it with Yara. Windows search Yara. And we only want to do exe files again. And we want the keyword is security report. All right. And I think we don't care about changing the format. No, that's fine. Okay, and this one here is also not loading. All right, that's weird that some images are not loading. I just want to, yeah, okay. A couple of images are not properly loaded. Okay, I'll have to fix that after this video. Anyway, so let's run this one. And the flag should be somewhere down here. Yeah. All right, so you should find a security report. Again, it's going to find, I think, only one file. Yep, only one file. And there it is, finding the one file. There it is. So you've got information there. It'll contain a flag. So again, only one file appears to be involved in the attack because only one file contains the domain name of the command and control server. And we can use Sysmon to find the precision mechanism. So we can install Sysmon. We talked about Sysmon before. We saw it in the Splunk stuff you did. You can install Sysmon remotely, which is very nice. Sysmon install. And I think I just run it in the default configuration. Yes, that's what I thought. But if you're in Windows on Apple Silicon, you'll have to manually install it because the default installer will not work. So let's take a look, and I think you'll see what happens when you try to do it on Apple Silicon. So I've got Windows 11 on ARM. It's waiting to run, and here's the log, and see what it does. Okay, and there it goes, fetching, copying, removing a temp file, still running. Okay, it says it's done. And if I go to results, it looks like maybe system cannot find the file specified. I think it's not in fact running. That's what I found before. So I'm just going to believe what I did before. I had to execute a few commands in PowerShell the way we did in a previous project. When the canned thing is not good enough, you can execute commands one by one up here. So this one and shell, and I think I want to put them in PowerShell. Okay, so I make a directory to put it in, C sysmon, and launch. All right, and that created the directory. And then I use invoke web request, which is Microsoft's version of wget, to download the file from sysinternals.
Running.
All right. And there it is. That's invoke web request. Okay, and it looks like I don't get any. Whoa. That's a little screwy. Anyway, I imagine it worked. I don't see any response, but that's all right. And then I got to download something else. I have to download the configuration file that comes from a famous security person with the Twitter handle Swift on Security. Made a very commonly used Sysmon configuration file that helps configure it to record the interesting events on Windows. All right, launch that. And then go to a CMD, and this is what installs the Sysmon and gets it running. So I want to go to a command shell here and put in that command. There. And that should do it. Yep, and there's the Sysmon. And see, now it says Sysmon started and all that, whereas the previous one showed some kind of error, file not found. So now it's running Sysmon, the correct version for Apple Silicon. All right. And so now we can run EVTX Hunter. This will hunt through the Windows event logs where Sysmon is putting these logs. And so an EVTX Hunter, it's collected plus EVTX Hunter. And in the parameters, I got a few adjustments to make here. Get rid of that. Okay, so security test, Sysmon and 1. Okay, let's see if I can do that. Path regex is, no, it's channel regex is Sysmon IOC. Indicator of compromise regex is security test. Channel regex is Sysmon. Not exactly sure what made it the channel, but that's what worked. And then ID is 1. I only want the events type 1, which we talked about before. Those are process creation events. So theoretically, this will give me just the interesting log entries. Because if you don't filter the logs, you get way too many responses. It's too hard to interpret. So there it is doing things. It's only one row. It's done. There's the result. So here's a Sysmon. And if I go to the right, it should tell me that's the process create. Here it is. This is the security test.exe. This is the malware running. This is the process create that launched the process to make that network traffic. So that's what I wanted to find. All right. And now I should, if I'm surprised. Oh, because I installed Sysmon and did this so quickly, I didn't get several responses. So let me just run it again, because the interesting thing here is to see the timing of these events. And if I only have one, I can't really examine that too well. So I'm going to try it again, EVTX Hunter. All right. And it was in the parameters. The IOC was security test. And the channel was Sysmon, and the event ID was 1. All right, let's see if I get more of them now. Launch. Still running. Now I have 2 of them. Okay, that'll do. I can show you the point. The point is, if you look at these 2 events, this one here happened at 19.012, 19.01, and the next one happened at 1920.012, exactly 1 minute later. And if you wait a few more minutes and get more of them, you'll see a nice pattern here of 1920.01, 2101, 2201, 2301. So that is your clue. Now, the previous one, remember, had persistence by using the run key, and the run key launches a program at every boot up. But this is launching every 1 minute exactly. So that suggests it's using Microsoft Task Scheduler. And so you can look for scheduled tasks for persistence with Scheduler. All right, and here's Windows System Task Scheduler. And we don't know the name of it or anything. So we're going to have to find it from among all the scheduled tasks. All right, let's see how many we get. All right, there it goes. And it looks like it found 229 scheduled tasks. So you got to find the beaconing command doing this in the red line. Now, we do, by the way, know that it's security test. So I think rather than hunting through 229 entries, I'm just going to go back and run Task Scheduler filtering for something with that security test in it if I can. Let's see if that's possible. Let me see if I left any tips here showing how to do it. I didn't, but let's see if I can do it here. Task Scheduler. All right, let's see if I have parameters that will help. I don't seem to have any parameters that will filter it. That's annoying. All right, such is life. Let's cancel this and go back to what I have. All right, so I just have to find it in these results. And here's the command. Let me go back and see, find the beaconing command outlined in red. It has security test in it. So I might want to download it as a CSV or something. But let's see, how many do I have on the screen here? Can I adjust that? Now, let's see if there's a way to show more on the screen. 010, okay. I can show more on the screen. There's 229. I can show 80 at a time. Okay. Oh no, I'm just seeing a group of 10. Maybe I can't show more than 10. Here's the group, page size. There we go, 100. Okay. Now there's only 2 pages or 3. This is better. Let's go back to the start. Okay, 0 to 100. Now we're looking there. I know the name of the thing is security test. So I can just search for that on this page, I think, with Control F. There we are. Now I found the security test. That's what I thought. It's not really that hard with only 1 or 200. Now I found the line with the security test in it, and that's what you have to do to find the flag. So anyway, now that was how you analyze one machine. So here's the process. You have a machine and there's some kind of complaint to make you suspect something has infected that machine. You analyze that machine until you find indicators of compromise, things that are easily detected, like a registry key, a file, a network connection, that sort of thing. And when you're done, then you make a hunt and you send the hunt to hunt on many machines in your network. So we're going to make a hunt in Hunt Manager here. We can expand this with the 3-bar thing. And there's Hunt Manager. Okay. And for Hunt Manager, you define which artifacts you want to collect. So we use the plus, and we're going to do sysmon install. We're going to skip that for ARM. We're going to do Ventic, Hunter, Task Scheduler, and DNS Cache, the ones we did before. So it is adding to my hunt, make a new hunt. And I think I have to give it a name. Yep, detect security test beaconer in the description. All right. I don't think I have to give it a name beyond that. All right. So there's my description. All right. And now, I think select artifacts there. Let's see. Yep, select artifacts and launch these collectors. So it is select artifacts. Okay, now EVTX Hunter. That's one of them. And now we search for the next one. Task Scheduler and DNS Cache. Task Scheduler. That's why they changed color, because you can select multiple ones of them. And DNS Cache. There we have it. Now I think I can configure parameters for all of them at once. Yep. There we go. Now I can configure the parameters for them all. And it'll be the same thing we've already done. You see the artifacts. You can now adjust these parameters. EVTX Hunter, I want it to look for security test, for an indicator of compromise, security test. That's a string found in the beacon and found in the malware. Then the Windows tasks path, I'm going to look for tasks in this particular path, which will be the particular scheduled task that we know this malware creates. There. All right. And for DNS cache, I think we don't need to configure anything. Yeah. And now we can launch it down here, and it will send it off to all the machines in my network. There's a way to also specify which machines if you have a lot of clients. I have only one, of course, but it's going to send it off and collect all those things. And this is what you do. You analyze your machine, then you get a list of indicators of compromise, then you send a request to gather just the relevant data from all the machines, and then you'll get a clear answer which ones are infected. That's the idea. All right. And so you can analyze it from Task Scheduler and find it. And here's the remediation, which again, you have to do directly on the Windows machine. So I'll just do that now. Go back to my Windows machine. And I already have a administrator command prompt there. So I should be able to copy both of these and just execute them here. Yep. There. Okay. So that should get rid of the malware and ready me for the next thing. So I'm going to stop this one.